Hey folks, General Dave back once again for part 2 of Kingsport Lighthouse with Joel.
Hey guys.
Joel, are you still immersed from part 1?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
If you guys missed part 1 of this build, we checked out the coastal park right here as you enter my Kingsport Lighthouse naval facility. We also toured both of my ships here. Got the gunboat, the MMS Ugly Duckling, and the transport ship,
The ass turtle.
just the MMS turtle, not the ass turtle. Joel can't read at distance. Too much aliasing, maybe. We also found out that one of Joel's in-game character's agents was smuggling people through my immigration center, but General Dave found them out. And in part 1, you guys got to see how they were doing that. And we also saw my little bit of Bioshock-inspired banners out front. Here in part 2, though, it is finally time.
Maybe Andrew Ryan was inspired by General Dave.
I mean, according to Bioshock Infinite, there are infinite universes.
So there's always a lighthouse. There's always a general.
There's always a man. There's always a lighthouse. There's always a city. There's always a statue.
There's always a statue.
Here in part 2, it is time to finally check out the secrets of the lighthouse itself. As we go past the...
Sounds like a Hardy Boys novel, like The Secret of the Light. Actually, that's probably one of the books.
Sounds very family
I
friendly.
love those books.
Unfortunately, the top of the lighthouse will not be family friendly, unlike the Hardy Boys. As you can see, during the daytime, we have our shopkeeper tending to our cap-grubbing snack stand. Come up to the park, sit, enjoy the views, buy a snack. Let's go on past all the extra details on the ground that honestly you probably just expect at this point. All the planks and detailing, literally hours of planking.
If your settlement was in modern times, Dave, you would have a mailing list too. You would absolutely have everyone subscribed to it, and no unsubscribe link whatsoever.
No unsubscribe.
Once you subscribe, always subscribe.
Same rule for the YouTube channel, actually. No unsubscribing allowed.
Yeah.
It's in the binding document you guys signed when you hit subscribe.
Not another build.
We're gonna just briefly take a look at the outside of the lighthouse because this is mainly just where, watch your step here.
Ooh.
Where the Minutemen are doing important things like hanging gigantic General Dave banners off the side.
Who wrote that? Who wrote that yellow? The Who Watches the Watchmen?
The Who Watches the Watchmen?
Okay. Oh, sorry. That was a part. I didn't know if that was a part of.
Well, some of it, including the smiley face down below in the underground area, was written by your agent. But other bits of the graffiti were added by some people who are also not quite in line with the Minutemen cause. They're kind of having their doubts, if you will. Yeah, this scaffolding here is just for repairing the outside of the lighthouse. As you can see, we're adding some supports to help shield it from rocket attacks. The Children of Adam, unfortunately for them, have a settlement like right there within shelling range of the ship while it's in port still. We have the attack siren so that the entire settlement can hear if it's under attack.
They now fish for you.
Probably.
They deliver all the stuff to you. Like, we better work with these guys.
Can you imagine just seeing this lighthouse and the boat like in the distance constantly? Like, I'd be fishing for them. That's for
Every
sure.
time you test the mortar, they always spray. Please let it not be us this time.
let it pass over.
Let it pass over. Oh. Yeah. We're safe for one more day.
There's the work lights on the scaffolding and some of the engines as we're hanging those banners. Very important to keep the propaganda machine going, for the morale of the troops.
For the morale, yeah.
Notice the airship hat, stolen from the Brotherhood and now converted to Minutemen. I am, in fact, the High Admiral. Yeah, all the scaffolding just makes its super rickety way up the lighthouse.
Okay, you know what I like, Dave, what you just did? I like that you had the ladders kind of going up this way, and then it kind of doubles back a little bit. I like that. It's, I don't know, to me, it's not so... I guess not symmetrical. I'm not sure what the word, but it's
not
just,
so snappy and symmetrical. Yeah.
Yeah, like not just perfect. Okay, let's just do it right. It just, I don't know. To me, it's like, yeah, it's just kind of cool.
I actually have a giant art support under that. You can see here.
That's cool.
What the outside of all of the scaffolding looks like. Again, it's really just for accessing the lighthouse itself for repairs, and because of that sweet, sweet view of our fleet.
It's cool seeing these tours even after having played Fallout. Now it feels like it's been a while since, because I beat the game and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I don't remember, like, can you go in the lighthouse? I can't remember what you could do with these areas. So it is kind of cool, like, oh, okay, what's going to happen?
I actually forgot I added a loudspeaker for announcements. Like, I've been working on this for a few months now. I started it before I finished the Vault 88 Brotherhood City build, so I'm actually forgetting a couple of things here.
Man, if I only had those things in my build and the challenge, I would have had one over each bed.
With the
Just wakes you up.
loudspeakers.
Wake up!
As you can see from the civil defense sign, this location was used as a watch post for the National Guard during the Great War, which was the nuclear attack, basically. Didn't really save them from the nukes that came from the sky, but you could watch the coast at least.
In the lower Fallout, who were they fighting against that ended up starting the war?
The Chinese. The
Okay,
Chinese.
yeah.
It's not really clear who fired first, but something else that's not clear is kind of unstable person is currently occupying the lighthouse. Let's go on up and find out.
What in the world?
Yeah, as you can see, your agent who is smuggling people is not the only person who is, again, not quite on board, haha, shit pun, with the Minutemen cause.
What in the world?
This guy is just a Minutemen Ranger helping to guard the stairs.
Oh.
He's lost some nose cartilage in his... Wow, he's really happy too.
That's really creepy.
Yeah,
What happened?
he's like been in a few fights.
Half ghoul.
Yeah, I feel like he got hit with like one of those barbed wire bats a few times, and like the surgeons tried, and it's just... Anyway, he's a great heavy gunner, so welcome.
If you can work, you're welcome.
As you can see, there's lots of defenses and walls all the way up. Because...
He's being kept here?
At the very top of the lighthouse is where the
Rapunzel.
captain... Rapunzel. It's where the captain of the MMS Turtle lives.
Huh.
Old longshoreman himself. Old Longfellow.
Is he crazy because of all the freaking nuclear waste from captaining the ship?
Well, here's what happened. General Dave tried to hire him to pilot the Turtle, but he thought it was too dangerous. So I warned him, either way, these ships are going to run. So he basically is piloting the Turtle on these dangerous routes to and from Far Harbor, as you can see, but not really willingly. He's just doing it. That's the route right there. This is actually Far Harbor. It's a topographical map, kind of a painting style.
Did you make that?
Yeah.
Cool.
But Old Longfellow knew more than anyone how dangerous the route that General Dave wanted to sail was, but he also knew if he didn't captain the ship, more people than if he were in charge were likely to get hurt. So that's how General Dave was able to convince him to captain the MMS Turtle. Regardless of who's in charge of the ship, though, the route is still really, really dangerous. All these trips back and forth on these dangerous routes are really starting to erode away at his sanity. And sure, on just about every single journey back and forth down the coast, the ship is fighting off mutants and raiders and all the stuff like that. But more and more often, he is seeing threats in the fog on these journeys that aren't really there. So at the top of the lighthouse here is his sanctum, where he's keeping all of his trophies from the fights along the way.
Ah, the smell.
Some of these, like the Mirelurks, were probably threats. Cathead, probably not a threat. King Mirelurk, yeah, that was probably a threat to the ship. Brahmin, that was probably some traitors. Yeah, he's kind of losing it on all these journeys to and from the fog. An occasional raider who might attack the ship has kind of ended up on his trophy shelf. And General Dave is really starting to wonder if maybe one or two of these heads on his walls might be passengers from the journey that maybe disappeared overboard. It's not super clear, but for now, Old Longfellow does know the routes and knows the ship now, so he is still the captain of it. But yeah, General Dave is getting a little bit nervous about his sanity. He's just up here at the top of the lighthouse behind like all these fortifications, just hiding from things in the fog that may or may not actually be there. And I really feel like
he takes care of the dark deeds.
Yeah, and probably more than just the dark deeds, probably some of his own imaginary dark deeds, and the alcohol is kind of getting out of control. We'll just let the good captain be. But yeah, another Watchmen comic. Someone else might be getting kind of skeptical of General Dave and his cause as well. So we're going to have to watch Old Longfellow. He might not be trustworthy much longer. He's even sealed up the lighthouse at the top with an armored boat door. And then there's down to the settlement. The park looks really cool from above, I think. All the boardwalks and benches and stuff. This is one of our construction cranes, built on a rather rickety wheel system, so it can very, very slowly be moved. And at nighttime, this crane piece looks positively like evil hanging off the side of the lighthouse.
This doesn't cost any like gas, really, because it's all lever.
Well,
oh, is it?
I mean, moving it is lever action.
Oh, gotcha.
But up top, you see all the engine electricity and the extra backup generator chugging away. We're burning through some serious fuel, but this is also what helps to move that giant Minuteman statue.
Generator up there.
Yeah, the crane would have been used for things like moving that gigantic statue into place. Awkwardly, creakily leveraging off of the top of the lighthouse dangerously. But General Dave also discovered this at the top of the lighthouse recently.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy is just either a civilian or a traitor, or like traitor with a D. I feel like he's just killing people now. But yeah.
He gets away with it because I'm captain.
Yeah, for now we need him, but I think his sanity is eroding. But yeah, that's what's at the top of our glowing beacon of hope for the Minutemen's new society here in the Commonwealth.
As long as the caps roll in and people continue to work for you, Dave just kind of like files that with the rest of the taxes that are...
Notice his bed is on this scaffolding that's over the staircase.
I was wondering what that scaffolding was for, but it's all for that.
It's so he can sleep here at the top and have his own little
loft.
Yeah, his rather disturbing loft. That's old Longfellow.
So we're still figuring out the Watchmen thing, right?
Basically, it's Joel propaganda.
Okay.
You're making sure that some of those Watchmen comics end up in the hands of some of General Dave's troops, including his most important troops like old Longfellow. Now, your agent had a good supply of those comics down below. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at our Welcome Center. So you've arrived by boat from wherever you came from. You've gotten your passbook stamped. You've got the all clear to come on into the Commonwealth, the Minutemen's Commonwealth, if you will. And you know me, Joel. Like, I gotta be prepared. Got some nicer bathrooms here, built onto the side of the house. Rickety.
That's pretty new for using those curtains.
Yeah, some new curtains. Branching out.
Yeah.
But still bathrooms, because the Lord needs them. You got your rickety sink here in the corner, and some rather rickety piping and stuff. But hey, plumbing in the apocalypse, that's fancy.
Heck yeah.
We'll check out the bunker here shortly. Let's go on into the Welcome Center. Again, kind of continuing the Ellis Island part of the theme, where new arrivals are welcomed into the Commonwealth. This is...
Do you have a shop, Dave?
Our nice welcome fireplace. Joel, I have more than a shop.
Oh my god.
You ready for this? Let's go ahead and spin around and see some games for the kids, including Joel's board game, The Nebula from Hell, which can be found at...
TheNebulaFromHell.com.
Well, that just makes sense.
Why, it just makes sense.
Moving past the little nice
the fire
seating area.
firelight, yeah.
I love the lights in this game that cast shadows. They look fantastic. But over here we have the Top Off Lounge, where you can top off after your long journey across the ocean. For those not understanding why Joel is laughing right now, for some reason the phrase top off really bothers him, so I made sure to use it for this build. So you can top off when you arrive back at shore. Because when you've been at sea a long time, and you're like, you get back to shore, you're like, man,
I have not topped off for a long time.
like, I need a top off stat.
Yeah.
So you can go here and top
Mouth's
off.
dry, go to the Top Off Lounge.
Yeah. Here at the Top Off Lounge.
That's General Dave.
Capitalism. Get your cigars. Here's one of our Minutemen Marines enjoying. What is he enjoying here? Oh, could that possibly be a ounce of General Dave's old rye
What?
whiskey?
Yes!
It's
Yes! I've been waiting for this forever.
Let me move the cup out of the way. Joel has been requesting
For a long time.
A long time, the General Dave whiskey. So I'm just going to move the cup out of the way.
Yes.
Joel, this build might be competing with Pleasure Island for the most amount of custom textures.
Jeez.
It's coming close. Let me just scoot that aside there. Notice it took like 10 seconds to open up the workshop. Yeah, there it is. General Dave's Old Rye Whiskey. It has like a Bioshock Infinite style like eagle on it.
Flying eagle. With screeching eagle.
It has like that kind of scrolly cloud style like the World's Fair from Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
As far as our bartender goes, you can definitely tell he used to be a soldier out in the wasteland. He is a bit rough looking even with the suit on, but he's serving up just about anything you could want from the bar. Or he can mix you up a nice fresh Nuka-Cola or some Mirelurk stew. Someone over here is mixing some Vim from Far Harbor with some vodka, doing a bit of a mixer there. Yeah, that is our top-off lounge with the ice cooler in the corner. Of course, a reminder, volunteer. And then some nice paintings back here. And that is actually aiming right at the front gate where we came in. To also welcome people to the Commonwealth, though, when a ship is coming in, we have someone manning the information desk, where you can get information about which settlements have space available, what's the safest route to get to them, because this is General Dave's Commonwealth, but there's still raiders and mutants out there. So yeah, I have an information booth.
Service with a smile.
Oh, there better be a smile. Otherwise, demerits.
It's always, oh, there better be. The best way of management. There better be.
And a free cup of coffee. Cup of joe for the road after your long, cold journey to the Commonwealth. Here in the display case, bit of Minutemen memorabilia. That is Bloodletter, which I got in Far Harbor and used to defeat.
I love that thing.
What was it? The one faction at the submarine base, the Children of Adam's base. There,
Yeah.
I used Bloodletter on them, one by one. It's now on display here in our welcome center. But we don't want just a nice generic welcome center. We want you to really understand what the Minutemen are offering you here in your new home.
Oh my gosh.
So on the other side of the room, you know, past all of the games and nice lounge area, we have a representation of the Minutemen life here in the post-apocalypse. Safety, prosperity, and clean water. Sample some of the water from our water plant. You can get a nice fresh glass from our water plant over at Taffington Boathouse, which is just down the road from here. You guys saw that build last year, and it's also linked in the playlist with my other ridiculous amounts of builds. Or try a free sample of General Dave's Old Rye Whiskey.
If you get hooked, it's $100. It's 100 caps a piece.
100 caps. This is high shelf apocalyptic whiskey, Joel. It's like
Yeah,
500 caps. The Minutemen painting an example of one of our uniforms. And even free snack cakes for the new arrivals. One snack cake per person, please. We're watching.
Fancy cakes for fancy lads.
Aw, look at that with a slogan. General Dave approves that slogan. That, Joel, is our very large, actually, welcome center. Like, we have the bar, the information booth, the sample booth. But we haven't seen upstairs yet. And there's a reason that there's so much welcome area to get you kind of comfortable and drinking General Dave's whiskey at the bar. Because there's something upstairs that's positioned very strategically above all of this nice relaxing area. Do not go up here or you will be shot. Notice the Marines right downstairs, always just hanging out at the bar watching, right? Notice how closed in it is up here. I also noticed that this door should be locked.
This is gonna be a prison.
Oh, it's even better than a prison, Joel.
What's better than prison?
What's above the Welcome Center just makes a lot of sense. I think you'll see here in a second. Because above the Welcome Center is the headquarters of the Minutemen Secret Service Spy Agency. We're positioned above the Welcome Center so we can listen through hidden microphones to everyone talking down below as they arrive.
This build has just been mystery upon mystery upon mystery.
There's a lot of
I love
mysteries.
it. I love
Literally
it.
the name, Secret Service. The secret's right there in the name.
This is great.
Coffee to keep the agents.
Of course. Of course.
You gotta have coffee so the agents can stay wide awake listening to all those conversations all night at the bar.
Oh, that's great.
A reminder though,
Curiosity fucking kill.
Possession of enemy propaganda is punishable by death. No Joel posters allowed here.
Propaganda is punishable. Also, disobeying any law is punishable by death, according to Dave.
Here you can see where the background checks are actually processed, partially, by our secret agents. They also have some pre-war U.S. military training manuals, like, "We're not the soldiers you're looking for." Typewriters for typing up the reports. This guy's got all kinds of paperwork he's working on. I wonder if he's working on the paperwork for that agent that got caught smuggling people. That'd be a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork. A map of the Commonwealth. Notice how the roof has been carefully sealed in completely, as well as all the windows. And over here, along with our Secret Service processing military secrets, keeping track of new arrivals, we have our tax collector taking care of all the import tariffs for all the goods being brought on the Minutemen ships. We'll rent our holds out to bring goods to the Commonwealth, but you're going to pay for it. And she even has like your classic tax collector like billfold on doing the paperwork.
You know, it doesn't take much for my society, Dave.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, it's a reason why we have all of our propaganda here too, because it's more of like a, are you sick and tired of having, you know, like getting ripped off by the man? It's like you know what you're getting into. You may come into our place and it may seem like hell, but we at least give you a choice. Here it's like, you only do this. Order safety, order safety. We're like, here, spend your caps. Yeah, you might die in a horrible way, but you get to choose your life.
That's the key. You lose a little bit of freedom, but order is safety. We deliver unless you're caught spying.
Yeah.
Then we deliver justice.
Spike on the top of the American flag.
Oh.
Ram through. Freedom has caught you.
We also have people copying the background checks and the pass books to pass on to other settlements so that we can always have a pretty up-to-date file on anybody who's going to be coming to the Commonwealth. Over here is one of the file rooms where all of those background checks are kept, which is sealed off even inside of this room with extra walls so that you can't just climb over and get into it. It's completely locked up. But most of the people out here are focusing on things like pass books and background checks. So if we want to get some serious spying done, you know where this is going. Open up the hidden bookshelf where our lead agent works back here. It's where our money is kept. And some of our best equipment. Rusted, but it's the apocalypse. I mean, come on. Where we can add important background checks onto holotape to pass around to other settlements. He also has control of the loudspeaker system in case of an emergency. And yet even more top secret filing hidden in the corner of the attic. Never enough paperwork. Communication, talking to other settlements like back at Sanctuary.
Whistling in the dark, squeaky floorboards, sudden death.
All kind of secret agent manuals. Got all of our training manuals here.
What does all that mean?
Lots of dead drop locations and spine locations.
Did you make that?
This is actually part of the communications prop. Notice, Joel, the curtain just slightly open so you can spy out into the courtyard without being seen. The whole time, someone could have been watching from the spy attic.
Dave, your last settlement, I know was in the works before we did our challenge.
Mm-hmm.
This settlement is like, I'm getting back on that horse.
That's the thing is, Joel,
you got back on 2 horses. You were stretching away.
There's more.
Yeah, it's like, I'm riding 2 horses this time.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, when inspiration strikes, I get a theme going, and I roll with it.
The king has returned.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and yes,
so good.
there's yet more to see.
Oh my gosh.
Before the war, as we'll see down here, one of our agents doing push-ups, exercising. This was a actual civil defense watch post. So originally it was like a historic location, you know, the lighthouse, the old innkeeper or lighthouse keeper's house. But the National Guard built a civil defense watch post here. I made a custom texture to kind of solidify that, which basically turned this entire facility into the perfect location for the headquarters of my Minutemen Navy. This was one of the watch bunkers that was built overlooking the bluffs. Let me see if this door's unlocked.
So much watching.
There's a lot of...
Watching, listening, secrets. Your own men can't trust your own men. Like, there's a team that listens to other men, and like your other group
in the other room.
Yeah, they're like listening across the wall, hearing each other and making notes.
There's like a little tiny shack on the roof where like I'm in listening to everyone down below. Oh man. Let's step way back for a look at the outside for a second. This is the outside of the dockyard area. We got some fencing to help protect the ship. Not that it really needs protecting with all those guns on it. And then that's the civil defense watch bunker that was built by the National Guard, along with some walls to help defend it, which the Minutemen have now rebuilt and added some spikes and extra barbed wire to help protect our naval headquarters.
How many hours does this take, man?
Honestly, probably close to 80 over the last 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
Are you crying right now?
Because, dude, how fast you are now.
Yeah.
This would have been probably, what, 150 hours maybe at the start?
Without the Place Everywhere mod and stuff like that, oh man. So inside of the old watch bunker, we've built our workshop, which is also a slightly cooler place to store our best alcohol for the top-off bar. See, we got a new set of power armor that we're working on, putting some paint on for rust protection. And then to guard the armory, someone has to always be on duty. Notice the double pistol holsters right there. He's ready to rock. And in case of an attack from the Children of Adam, we can actually just roll the shutters down or up for a great view of the beach. Those poor guys are screwed. They're a tiny, crappy settlement. And then here in the armory, of course, this is why we have a guard on duty at all times. We have the Fat Man, as well as some extra machine guns, lots of rocket shells, mortar shells for the artillery for the ships, and extra guns, ammo, and supplies. A very convenient location for all the weapon storage. For the war, government property, no trespassing. And, I mean, of course, a reminder that the general will never stop fighting. Very important. That brings us to our naval headquarters here. Again, this was the former Civil Defense headquarters, as you can tell from the Civil Defense signs. I love their old logo. So cool. So very 50s.
Yeah, I haven't used that logo much anywhere.
There's a lot of new textures for this build. A whole lot. This is where you can sign up to join the Minutemen here inside of the barracks.
There's a cup game over there.
Yeah, someone's been a little bit bored.
Bunch of holotapes. Did you stack those?
Custom prop, thankfully.
Okay.
Getting better at that stuff too. All of these though were placed by hand. He's also had to take your photo, and
What photo was that?
This photo right here, this painting.
Yeah.
It's an inspirational painting. General Dave is working on some stuff at Starlight Drive-In still, just some light construction. So he personally painted himself, of course, looking at his work, and donated it to the naval headquarters, which is now
4 feet.
100 caps per inch. Down here, with the General Dave flag.
Gosh, the flags, man.
So many flags. This is where the National Guard also had their barracks, which worked out nicely for the Minutemen to use this whole location as our headquarters. As you can see, someone's got a bit of a comic problem. They're going to get some demerits for that mess. And another Watchmen comic. Your agent was very busy handing those out to everybody. This guy's been reading a book over here at this bed. As always, lots of fortification and reinforcement for the sleeping areas. This poor guy right here isn't quite as confident of his reading abilities. He's just reading your special demerits.
Fired.
Our water fountain in this corner, and Joel, just to drive you crazy, because you hate bathrooms anyway, like having to build bathrooms.
Yeah.
You probably hate placing outhouses.
Oh, yeah.
How would it make you feel to know that I spent about an hour building this bathroom because...
No way.
Because
Come on.
I wanted to build it underneath the stairs here and make use of this corner. So, all of these wall pieces I used to build a bathroom, and they all had to be rotated and aligned piece by piece.
Yeah, that's great. That's crazy.
But it feels like it's actually like an old admin building.
You could just say, there's a bathroom in there. I'd be like, that's good.
But yes, it's fully detailed, and just to horrify you, let's go into workshop mode once again. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. All of these pieces had to be rotated layer by layer to fill the space, and then to fill gaps, smaller pieces were added all the way around here. Underneath the stairs, I used paintings to hide the gaps. But doesn't that fit the space really, really well?
Dude, I feel like I get almost a slight panic attack when I just think of like all the time that went into that.
But there's more, Joel. We gotta have some work on the showers too, right? These would have been the showers for the civil defense outpost before the war. The bombs would have still caused some damage even out here on the coast, so I've got a wall that's collapsed here, where the Minutemen have rebuilt it to get some water pressure back by adding their own water pump. Now we have our own shower room once again. We got our sink and all in the corner, and our stool. How kind of the National Guard to build all of this for us. And how kind of the bombs to not completely wipe it off the map. We'll actually come down this way on our way out, so I'm going to close that door. Let's head upstairs and check out the holding area. So let's say you arrive in the Commonwealth, and there's a problem with your passbook. Let's say you get a weird cough, or maybe one of your stories, like, oh, this person can vouch for me, it's like counterfeit. You're not a bad person, but you're suspicious. Well, we'll hold you here for a while. It's not the worst facilities. This room was actually built by the Minutemen on top of the old roof, hence the cinder block construction. And you got a little privacy screen for the toilet, and some benches, and some beds. Like, it's a holding cell, let's be honest. But, you know, it's safe. Like, well, no windows, again. It's not great, but you're safe. That's where we hold people who...
You're miserable, but you're safe.
Yeah, yeah. Until we either get their passbook fixed, corroborate their stories, or just ship them back to where they came from. They're held, they're fed.
And if they're really bad, would you ship them off to is it Red Rocket, or what was the one place we built the prison?
Yes, Red Rocket is the holding facility, and if we know that they're dangerous, they might go there. Or if we actually know that you're dangerous, we don't want you in the holding cell with what could be just nice family people. If you're a known bad guy, we've got a special cell for you. This is the holding cell. Imagine how hot it is in here.
Oh, man. Try to leave, and boom.
Right here, Joel, we have one of the settlers that was being smuggled by, who was once your agent right here. Yeah, prisoner.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's very dead. Our enhanced interrogation kind of finished him off, but we're pretty confident now that he was the only agent.
Is there poop in there? I need to know.
It's dangerous.
There is not. I mean, we keep things clean and sanitary because the offices are right outside.
Gotcha.
I mean, the door is pretty good at keeping the smells in to a point. We've got to clean it out sometimes, but at this point, General Dave's pretty confident that there's no further agents. Also, like a double bar system here for extra security. Odds are she's going back to Red Rocket, I would imagine. Yeah, you just act all tough. Close the boxcar door. Here we have one of our naval lieutenants with a revolver on her hip right there. She's checking some paperwork here for the prisoners. Lots of paperwork when a prisoner dies in custody, even if General Dave was the one interrogating him. Which, as you can see, there was some enhanced interrogation going on right there with the tongs and the passbook.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
This is our naval admin offices.
Hey, look, it's George Washington leading the way.
Easy living.
He's also pointing to the scales of justice right below the painting. Isn't it ironic to have the scales of justice right outside of the cell where we killed the prisoner? Isn't that a little bit ironic?
Why do I just picture Dave? You say empty your pockets and they put all their gold, and then you put all their sins on the other side, and it's like a way. It's like, sorry, execution.
You have been.
If their gold's enough to outweigh, it's like you live today.
Your valuables have been weighed, and you have been found wanting. Your life is forfeit.
I demand trial by combat.
I'm going to go into workshop mode to horrify you just one more time here, Joel, because this particular wall section I really wanted for the inside of the barracks, but it didn't have any door frames in this set. So I found the half wall sections, and then I built, piece by piece, a door frame
Whoa.
of my own, and even lined the hinges up to match it. I just like horrifying you. Whew. This is the naval headquarters room, where the admiral, not the high admiral, sits.
I don't know why I laugh when I see the guy with the helmet. It's just like safety. See Dave like going like, right on. You got that helmet on.
He's got a light on it. They're working on planning the next.
That guy, whoa.
Yeah.
He's like,
I do wonder, Joel. I am the High Admiral, and he kind of let an agent into his base. He is the captain of the Ugly Duckling, but I wonder if he's in for a demotion soon. A demotion right to Red Rocket, possibly.
Huh? He's the Ugly Duckling.
Man, he's got a creepy smile.
Yeah.
Super creepy. And they're working on planning their next route for the Turtle to Far Harbor.
Maybe tunneling somewhere.
Yeah. And here is the Admiral's desk. Got some fine cigars, some paperwork. Everyone's got paperwork. A Tommy gun for emergencies aimed right at the door, ready to go.
The United Settlements of General Dave.
Confidential. And then a great view out into the courtyard, right into the Minutemen statue from his desk.
What this guy had to do to get this job with these windows.
Well, part of it is when I show up, this is my room.
Every caveat is like, you are captain over here until I show up. If I show up, I own this room.
Reminder that the walls have ears, quite literally in the Welcome Center.
They're literally laying at the top. They're like looking, listening to the cracks.
There's our Minutemen pass books right there. Also going over some of those up here.
Papers, please.
And our finest selection of whiskeys and alcohol, including...
I love the General Dave. I'm so happy you finally did that. I feel like it's taken a whole year.
The amount of textures for this build, Joel, out of control.
Lost my home when the fog rolled in.
We go past our holding area, and again, notice the storage here for people who are in the holding cells. Their possessions are stored here for security, locked up. Let's go past even more paperwork.
Another day of hard work. Never changes.
We got a watch position over here where you can open the shield door here, and that's where we started the tour, just down the road outside the walls. You can go downstairs here. This is boarded up again for security. All the windows sealed. It's our primary reactor for the settlement. Because it is in the admin building with the prisoners, it's not the only reactor, but it is the primary one because it was already here. You know, we just kind of powered the base up, if you will, and some maintenance tools and whatnot to go along with that. Having to make use of the space means that you're going to have some things near your prisoners, unfortunately. But I mean, you've seen how many like Minutemen Marines and sailors and soldiers and militia are everywhere, along with 1,000 turrets and even.
That guy's jacked. He has not stopped.
We also have a
Crop's been growing
jet
good,
sniffing dog to check for drugs in the
Someone
luggage.
hiding in there?
Oh, that was quite the yawn. And this is the side of our admin building, which was plain brick before I added, as usual, all the details, all the air conditioners and posters and accessories and lighting. And
I always forget about that because I think, okay, yeah, signs, you do the, like the signs, stuff like that, but I'm not thinking, oh yeah, those little random
the air conditioners, the anchor, it's all custom decorations, yeah. And from here, we got our dumpster in the corner. You can take our scaffolding up here and get a look at the outer wall. And this whole scaffolding system is a great view of that road that circles up to the front gate. Like, you can just absolutely massacre, along with the turrets, the many turrets, whoever is coming up. And this cowboy looking dude is our gatekeeper.
30 years.
He's a little bit out of uniform, but you know, he's a little bit older, a little bit eccentric. We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
He's like what is it, the Delta Force people, whatever, that are allowed the beards now. He's like,
yeah,
he's so grizzled. He's been here for ages. Like, you just let him do what he does.
Yeah, he's his own man.
What he does the best.
Exactly. Here's the front of our welcome center. You can see there's our original sign from the start. General Sport. Not Kingsport anymore, General Sport. And then this is, of course, the front door.
Gosh, the amount of saluting they must do whenever you show
Oh
up.
my
They're
gosh.
like, man, my arms are so tired.
And it better be crisp, too.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear the air crack. Exactly. So, backing up from the welcome center here, let's say that your passbook has been checked and you're good to go, but it's time for a medical checkup. That's your last step. You have like a medical hold on your passbook. Like, you got a weird cough or like a weird rash. Let's get you checked out before you leave. This is the last stop before you're allowed out into the Commonwealth if you ride a Minutemen ship to the Commonwealth. And there's the good doctor who is creepily standing in the park at night back during part 1 of the tour. He's all set to get your last check mark for your passbook and allow you out the front gate.
Magazine Live and Love.
You can also buy some medical supplies if you need some for the road, if you have a doctor's note from him. Again, not like a full medical facility, just kind of a check-in for getting your passbook stamped. Got a little bit of surgical tools, nothing too fancy. Examination table with some fresh seats, very luxurious in the Commonwealth. A nice cozy fire. Probably not doing good things for that blood bag over here next to the fire. That's just our
Now I'm
last
curious.
check.
There's something I saw outside this door.
Yeah.
That I'm curious to know if there's actually a reason for it. Look to your left. In front of the medical thing.
Yeah.
It says like rooms for rent.
Yeah.
Are there actually rooms for rent, or is that something that's just still there?
I actually added that. There are no rooms for rent here. However, you can go ahead and prepay for a stay at any Minutemen settlement at this location. You can get a voucher. And we're always checking, thanks to the Secret Service, for counterfeit vouchers for our settlements. Another purpose for our Secret Service.
I thought I could almost catch you on that. I was like, why? There's rooms around. I don't see a...
Here you go, Joel. This might help explain it. An ad for Croup Manor Hotel, just across the bay. A great place to stay on your first day on the Commonwealth. Safe and comfortable. Someone has painted a custom billboard.
Dave, I love every bit of this, but oh man, like I would hate living in your society so much. Just drilling into you. You're safe. I'm like, I know I am.
You're safe. Thanks to me. Salute me.
Salute me.
My guy even looks kind of stern. He's not smiling as much as he used to. Even the creepy smile, I kind of miss it because he just looks super stern now. But Joel, at long last, we've gone through all of our stages of the immigration process. The many, many stages. We've been robbed of our caps at the snack
Robs
stand.
of our humanity.
But of course, the outer door is also locked. Even for General Dave, gotta get our way loose.
Yes.
We'll just take a quick walk around. But that's the entire process for how you immigrate to the Commonwealth from a ship's journey
Oh man.
provided by the Minutemen and General Dave. So, what do you think?
This was a fantastic build, Dave. Like,
Thank you.
it was. I mean, the story was incredible. It was real. Like, you had a lot of meat to it. And that's again.
yeah.
That's why I think. That's what grabs me the most. I think because you can build something that looks
sure.
phenomenal.
Sure.
But I think creating an idea around it from the smuggling people in, I think that's just great because it connects with other settlements.
Yeah,
you've
there's
built.
our container where you come out right there for the smuggling.
Yep, you created all that. Honestly, you created an amazing looking port that could not run on anything. But yeah, I know. I mean, like it's awesome. I love the new take on things using new assets we haven't really seen you use at least I guess front and center. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Like 25
Yeah,
custom
because
textures.
I mean, again, we've seen these walls, we've seen the shower rooms, like you've seen the similar, like you have to build those things. How can you do that in a new way? Because I mean, this game's been out for a long time. Everyone's seen every single model, a billion times over.
Exactly.
Even with these, like, of course you're gonna have the spikes, of course you're gonna have that, but creating it in a different way is really cool.
I forgot, next to the showers, I filled in this gap in the fence with like 10 different kinds of fence pieces to make it look extra scrappy. I would almost completely forgot to even walk by it. It was just for me. But honestly, guys, thank you, Joel, for the compliments, but I do love building these because, again, that's like a huge part of the fun for me is figuring out, just like Bethesda's level designers have to figure out, here's your limited set of props. How do you make a new area feel exciting and interesting and visually appealing and give it a backstory and stuff like that? Like, it's, oh man, the creative process is so much fun. And I also love that ever since Sanctuary, when Joel first kind of called me out for being too kind of a General Dave, I'm not evil. I'm providing safety, security, order, but it's like,
So General, that's what General Dave thinks. I'm not evil.
I'm not a bad guy.
As he whips this, I'm not evil.
But at the same time, it's like, how far am I going to go in this series of builds to protect what I've built?
Yeah.
How far will General Dave go?
You know, we love being able to read you guys' comments in the videos too. It's really interesting, seeing your take on stuff. But what do you guys think is the most unique part of this build? And what do you think is the most, I guess, what's the best thing to do to create a really cool, realistic, and lived-in settlement? Because I think the lived-in part to me is the most exciting part.
Yeah.
It's having a backstory. Like, again, you can have a backstory, but if you don't show it off that it exists in the world, it doesn't really, it's like, great, you have a backstory, but we don't see it. But this, like, we can see the actual effects of the backstory. Even from, like, the fish there, it's like, okay, that tells a story, like, oh, someone is doing that, someone's, working that part of it, Like, again, you didn't even say anything about that. It was just because you're probably so used to all the stuff he plays. But I saw it, and it was like, okay, cool. They, like, maybe they gather fish while they're out even still, or
that's exactly it. They gather fish when they're out at sea to help feed the men who are stationed on the ship. Yeah, you got it. So guys, that is my Minutemen Naval Port at Kingsport Lighthouse. Thank you, Joel, for being a good sport and coming along for the ride. General Dave is going to drown at the end of the tour. Hope you guys have enjoyed. To end things for today, I'm going to do a cinematic battle. We're not going to provide commentary for the final fight, but I am going to have an attack, a cinematic battle going, because I want to call in mortars from the gunboat to help defend it. Just for cinematic effect, it'll roll in the background. That's it for us, though, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the fight.
Take care.
See you guys.